Good morning, everybody. It is St. Patrick's Day. I got my beads on. I'm festive. I'm ready to go. We got a great show for you today. We got a great crowd. Andy, you've got a video to tell us about. What do you got?
This is a presentation on the Canada Games. I took 12 days off of my business to coordinate 80 volunteer photographers. There's a lot of pros there, athletes from all over Canada. Now, this is an event for 21 and under, and a lot of these kids will be in the next Olympics.
Well, okay, let's check it out.
As part of the 51st date?
Tom, you just got out of surgery. You might get beat up for something like that.
You don't realize that. You can delete that, Kevin.
The 51st date.
I noticed Larry just left the room.
All right, here we go, folks. Okay. All right, what do we think of that one?
Great freeze motion.
Great jobs in there. Really great.
Did you like how he categorized everything? And we were just talking, Jim, how he had swimming and then he had golf and he had all the subjects. You kind of, once you saw that first image, you're like, oh, okay, we got swimming. And then you're looking at swimming images for a bit. And then it's golf, tennis, whatever. I thought that was a great way to do it.
The text was really good. You know, the photographs of the amount of time they were on and the cleats and
Yeah.
I like it.
Andy, you missed the impact here.
Oh,
These are 5-second scenes. They're way too long for that music. It just didn't work. The photos are wonderful. I mean, the photographers were really good. And they captured like the baseball with the dust and all that.
This was all my photography.
Was that all you?
That's all.
Okay, well, that was great.
Amazing.
But you didn't cut to the beat and you missed the wonderful impact that stills can have if they're very short. These are all, I timed them, they're all 5 seconds. If they were 2 seconds, 3 seconds, think about the impact of this film with that great music. That's where I think you missed it.
Yeah, I need to learn that, how to coordinate the music with the images. I mean, some of them hit right on by
Some by accident, yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing, I took 12,000 photos.
yeah, I believe. And
What we had to do was, you got your assignment, and some of these things were night games. And you could only post 50 images a day out of about 1,000 I took on a website that every athlete and parents had access to. So that was interesting. And then aside from all of this, every photographer had badges. And so all the kids wanted photos with the family and everything. So I probably got 5,000 images of families because they come from all over.
Sure.
Canada. A lot of them drove.
think about if you had short 2-3 second scenes, that driving music, what an impact this would have without motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And that's what puts motion into these sometimes terrible slideshows. That wasn't terrible. And the photography was great.
I might redo this.
I think you should slow down the text also.
Yeah, I'll get the same.
They seem.
What do you want to do?
Slow down the text.
Yeah.
So I see.
I just thought it
That's my style. I just
read very fast. I mean, maybe because with the beat of the music, but
sports.
Well, and
Yeah, Darryl.
Some
Evelyn
of the
would read,
images
so.
looked a little overdone, but intentionally, I mean, they almost looked like they had been watercolorized
Mhm.
in Photoshop. And others were not, and I wasn't sure. I liked some of it, but I don't know, I think for that, I would try to keep them all more the same.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
sure.
Yeah, the last one there of Maddie and the high jump, she broke a world record there. And I obviously jazzed that. She's got that in the room. I
Okay,
don't want an ordinary, I've got her other photo was there too, but
sure.
it was something a little different and
Okay.
Or maybe have all the modified ones at the beginning or end, and then group them. And then the rest of it goes with the rest, because I really like the stylized.
I did too. but it
Pictures.
wasn't- Sorry.
Is it just a consistency thing, Darryl, that you're thinking? Okay. Yeah,
But he
sure.
did group.
And I feel just
Yeah.
the opposite.
Well, we need
I
the
thought- I really
stylized.
liked how the stylized were placed throughout it. It really grabbed my attention. So, it's all, stuff like that is personal taste. But, what Phil was saying, that was what I wanted to see too, is I wanted to see those music,
yeah.
the pictures coming in on
Sure.
those beats.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo that. I gotta try that. I'm gonna try and redo it.
Does Final Cut do that?
It won't go to the beat.
It won't.
No. Todd had a good suggestion. The text is scrolling a little fast, and so it's hard to read. So maybe if you slow that down just a little bit, extend it, maybe just go a little longer, it'd be a little easier to read it.
the other thing is in DaVinci, Andy, you can set the length. I mean, by default, all photos are 5 seconds in DaVinci, but you can change that to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and have all your images come in at a different length.
So is there any music
site where you can get music where the beat is. You can look for things that say are a 3-second beat.
Well, there is in story blocks, there is a setting where you can have how many beats per second you'd like to find a song.
Okay.
You can change the tempo of
You
the
can change,
music.
yeah. So, but, I don't know if in Pixabay, you have that functionality, Diane? Okay,
Actually,
all right. Yeah, I think it's just a thing if you're gonna redo this.
Yeah.
Is just say, okay, start with the first one. Okay, where's the beat at? Boom. Okay, then now where's the next one? Okay, I gotta shorten that one to 2 seconds. This one's gotta be 4 seconds. You might have to play with it.
If you figure out the beat first, then you can go back into preferences. And if it's a beat every 3 seconds,
Yeah.
then just set all your images at 3 seconds. It'll save you a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, that would work.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, thank you, Andy. Okay, let's see, what's next up to bat here? Is Bob here? Bob's not here, okay. Daryl, you're here. You got 2 little videos. Do you want me to show the roping one?
Sure.
Okay, tell us about the roping video.
I went to a memorial service. Lauren Havman. And he owns about a 2,000-acre ranch just down here near Dallas. He passed away about 4 months ago, and the wife held a rodeo in his honor.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
These are all local and Mexican cowboys. His brand is HH. It's either these guys it's not a regular rodeo, it's just roping.
Okay,
And so the HH is either your head and hooves or horns and hooves or head and heels.
okay.
But this is a video, this is how it's done.
Okay,
It's about
Gets those.
a minute and 30 seconds, but it actually is probably about 15, 18 seconds in real time.
okay. All right, let's check it out.
So no music or anything. I just wanted
Okay.
to show it because it's
Sure.
textbook as to how you rope a cow.
Okay. Well, we might use that later today. You never know. Are you going to put together some sort of a thing on this day?
I'll have a 3-minute memorial video.
Oh, okay.
That I'm gonna do, and then I'll do another video that's just mainly
That
on
was
the
great.
rodeo itself.
Okay.
Um,
The slow motion is great.
Yeah.
I mean, in real time, it's
all that stuff.
it's like the artistry in terms of seeing that rope going around the guy's head and as they're running and when it happens real time, your eyes don't see it. It's nice to see it in slow motion.
I couldn't believe he got his horns, but not his whole head.
Hmm.
It was amazing. He was supposed to.
Well, yeah.
But that was super.
Get the whole head, you're disqualified.
Oh, do
Yeah,
you?
yeah, but that he could do it.
Yeah. Well, and also on a horse riding at speed.
Yeah.
Think of that.
They had kids that were 9, 10, 11 years old, out there riding too. It was so
Nice.
cool.
Do you-
It's very family.
It's full back so you can see.
I have 1,500 shots. and-
Because what's neat is to watch the cutters, the horses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the horses do a lot of the work and you didn't, because you were so intent on the cow,
Right.
you didn't see the whole picture of what the horses were doing.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't watch
The
it.
same comment as on Jim's, you had to talk through it, so we knew what it was, so you gotta add narration.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything on that? All right. Thank you, Daryl. I can't wait to see this when it's all said and done.
What Larry just said, yeah, this one, if you're going to add a narration, whereas Jim's, if he's gonna add, he should add text. That's good. Otherwise it would
Sure.
distract you from what was going on.
Yeah, definitely the narration would be a better way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Doug, I can show yours, right?
Yep.
Okay, tell us about this, Doug.
Since the Alaska race, the Iditarod just finished in 10 days. It was a 1,100 mile race, dog race. I dug into the back of my drawer and I found this one.
Okay, let's check it out. All right. Okay, what do we think of that?
Was that your sled, Doug?
And what camera we're using for that?
I had it ready to bring it today and I forgot it home. I'll bring it next time.
Well, it's,
Sony Handycam.
Okay. yeah. Well, I was gonna say, it's not HD because of the format.
I put a plywood platform on. the
Yeah.
handlebars,
Yeah,
And it just pounded it to death.
well, sure it did. Well, think of now with the GoPros and stabilization and everything, you would get a much smoother image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for the Lone Ranger to come right.
It's not a copyright issue.
It's too far behind.
Let's hope not.
Other than that, it was Swiss Army.
Yeah. Yes, Sam.
So I think if you intermix somewhere in the middle, a slow-mo of that might have been interesting.
It'll be interesting to see. It's probably not gonna be real pretty.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean the footage is so jerky
Oh, yeah.
that you probably even slowing it down, it's gonna almost maybe be confusing, I would think, as to what we're seeing.
You can speed it up.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, you might really get sick. Vertigo meaning.
I think slightly out of focus because I didn't know when to focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but it was the right length. We
Yes.
didn't need any more.
Monica, did you have something?
I was gonna say Doug needs to go back to Alaska and try it one more time.
I think so.
He doesn't dare.
Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, thank you, Doug. Okay, well, let's see what's next here. Holly, Oh, God. Well, you can talk about this and then I'll talk about it a little bit.
All right, so this is my attempts with Final Cut Pro, which I'm still learning. And I know could be some more work done, but I'm not gonna do more work on this. Kevin helped me a lot on this. And I'm on to the next one because the grandkids just left 2 days ago and I'm doing a new movie on their trip while they were here. So, but you'll see there's a lot with the sound especially, but also the imaging that has been repaired.
Quick story on this. We showed this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was not looking good. Meaning there was a lot of technical issues with the story's a great story, but there was technical issues with the editing. So Holly came over here and we got on the computer and spent 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I said, the only way I'm going to do this is if I can drive, because I can't sit here for 10 hours, because that's about what it would have taken to fix this. And in the timeline, it was all over the place. I mean, it was just a disaster.
Technically it was. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, it technically was a huge disaster, but we cleaned it up. We fixed transitions. There was some images that weren't showing up. There was a number of technical things. So anyway, this is the newer version and we'll play that for you.
The story of the Lincoln Christmas begins at the end. Here, at the end of the book, you see Zeke at 12 years old. The year was 2012, and he's with Grandpa Corba. In the back, there's Skylar, and taking that picture was me. We were taking Zeke on his first drive in a car around the neighborhood, and the car he wanted to drive was our 2005 Lincoln Town car. After he drove it, he insisted my favorite car is the Lincoln Town car, and my favorite color is beige, its interior color. 2024 became the year of the Lincoln Christmas. Zeke flew to Tucson and arrived in Green Valley, Arizona on December 19th, 2024. Of course, immediately, we went to the White Elephant. Well, almost immediately. It's one of our favorite places to go in Arizona, Green Valley. And of course, we ate Mexican and went to the White Elephant again. Zeke got the cars and Christmas music ready for us. We'd be taking the Lincoln across the country to Williamsburg, Virginia, and he prepped the Hyundai for me to use when I got back. Oil changed, fluids up, everything ready for Grandma. Our trip began, of course, in Arizona, our first state. We went to Saguaro National Park and were able to see the sunset. We had a brief but great stay getting ready for our adventure at 777 West Placita El Cueto, Grandma's house. One more Arizona stop was after we'd headed east on Route 10. We stopped at Texas Canyon, where Texans had first inhabited Arizona. A great place to stop and climb the rocks. Next stop, New Mexico, at the authentic trading post on the Continental Divide. We saw a rusted old Buick and a truck that looked almost like a Conestoga wagon. Checked out the historic trading post itself. Nothing of interest to buy. Then we spent that night in Azona, Texas, and enjoyed spicy cheese curds with dinner and festive Santa reindeer, and at the hotel, even a nice little Christmas tree to keep us in the mood. We had several more stops in Texas. It's big. So we went on to San Antonio and stopped at the Alamo, now engulfed by the city of itself. Remember the Alamo? Remember Davy Crockett? Then on to Missouri City, Texas, where we visited Bridget, my niece, and her husband Jake and their kids, Cameron, Cody, and Kaylee. What a festive household they kept. And we went out for brisket, too. Parane's Seafood was our Baton Rouge, Louisiana stop. The gumbo was delicious. Onward, we saw the Mississippi River and stopped for a photo of the state seal. Then onward some more to Alabama. Buc-ee's, our Auburn, Alabama stop. Twice. There's so much to see. So many gas pumps to choose from at Buc-ee's.
You've entered the car park for your destination.
We drove on to Greenville, South Carolina, and took our time to look around the town. Greenville's a place that one of Grandma's friends might be moving in a year or two. We went out for more Carolina barbecue. In Greenville, we walked the town and tried Carolina barbecue before getting immersed in traffic again. Finally, home before Christmas. December 23rd, we arrived at the Corbas in Williamsburg, Virginia, in time to celebrate. Tracy had set up Herb's Village, beautiful winter scene, and another one, the Dickens Village. And Skylar and Zeke made wonderfully cute Christmas cookies to give to the area first responders. We went to church. We played with the dog. We gathered as a family and took lots of photos. There was, of course, the photo of the three grandmas, Holly, Nan, and Darlene, and the Corbas. Zeke, of course, officially got the car. Tracy and I went to the DMV with Zeke, and the title is now Zeke Corba's Lincoln Town Car, officially a car of Virginia. We also went downtown in Williamsburg to look at the skating and the lights, have some dinner out. It was a wonderful time. Zeke continued to shine up that car and make it his own. And he kindly took me to Charlottesville to visit my friend Carolyn. And he and Skylar and Tracy drove home. So that is the Lincoln Christmas from beginning to the end. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a question for Holly. You had said you were going to re-record your narration.
Yeah, but I said that, and maybe someday I will.
Maybe you should, because we didn't fix any of the narration. You heard how it went really loud and then it got really soft. And Holly's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to re-record the narration.
Right.
You need to re-record the narration. It's gonna take it's that little bit that's gonna take this over the top.
Yeah. I need to also move Georgia. That's the shot of Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's just what I was gonna say for those of us who traveled a lot. Georgia comes before South Carolina.
Yes. I know. Moved at some point. It was there in the right place.
But on a positive note,
Yeah.
did you hear her enunciation? It's perfect.
Okay.
And many of the tracks that people in here cut are mushy. You did a really nice job.
But I'll re-record it anyway.
Please, well, please do, just because there's the difference in the recording times that you did this in terms of you did this in segments, and so it's not at the same time, it's not at the same volume. So that'll just clean everything up for you. Yeah, Shirley.
I'm so glad I saw it the first time and that I got to see this. This was beautiful.
This was,
This was good. And you could feel the story in this one. The first one was so convoluted and broken up, and this just had such a nice flow, and it was great. So,
Good.
thank you.
Yep.
Did you have any audio of your grandson?
Any video of him talking? Did you ever shoot any video with him on this? Okay.
I didn't shoot any video.
Do you have any more cars you want to give away?
Been there, done that.
He is selling her house. You could buy that film.
Yeah. He wants to give away.
That's why I wanted to move that Hyundai.
Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? Well, thank you. Please re-record the narration. I think it's going to be wonderful.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Let's see here.
Oh, is there a way to print my narration on Final Cut Pro? What's there now to print?
Print it.
Yeah, because then I would read it.
You're saying to have your narration printed out and then you're going to read it as you're doing it?
Yeah, or then I'll edit it, then I'll read it.
Well, I mean, there is if you want, I can run this through. I've got a program that I can do closed captioning, which would also give you a text printout of what you've said. Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, I want
You could just probably run it speech to text. Just
Yeah.
play
Okay.
that to your microphone and
Oh, that's good. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Put it on your phone and.
That'll work.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Larry?
Yep.
You've got a video for us. Why don't you tell us about this?
Okay, I put this one together. I got some advice from Kevin on some things that need to be cleaned up. And it was primarily to get some practice working with Premier Elements 20. I was using 15. They changed the audio tools on it considerably. So I've been fighting with that. And I've also been fighting with my Audacity.
Uh-oh.
So it was all a big training exercise.
Okay.
Mainly business.
All right. Well, let's see what you got.
On the 15th of February 2025, Holly Corbin and I decided to take on a longer hike. The Quantrell Mine Trail seemed appropriate. It was a number of years since I'd done it, and it was new to Holly. Most of the elevation gain was in the first half mile or so. Then the trail incline eased a bit. We stopped for a look at one of the small mines on the way. It had this reminder about the dangers near mines. This sign confirmed we were on the right trail. I've been known to get on the wrong trail in the past, so it was a comforting indicator. We passed the turnoff for Little Elephant Head and later for Elephant Head itself. We weren't up for tackling either of those. Later research told me the mine held mainly lead and zinc with traces of gold, silver, and copper. Although the Forest Service reports that Quantrell once produced large amounts of gold and silver in its better years. From here, we can see the mine tailings.
I have a question, Larry.
Uh-huh.
Did you fix anything?
Well, I thought I had. I reloaded it.
Did you-
download the new one?
I see you got something else here, but. Well, not that I'm seeing that you fixed it.
Well, I sent you the link to the other one.
Yeah, that's what I've downloaded. The audio is really muddy in
Yeah.
terms of your narration is muddy, but then also, and we talked about this in the notes that I gave him. You see how that music has got a real driving tempo beat, and it's fighting with his narration. It's hard to hear his voice, and normally, let's say that just as a quick example, maybe your music is going down minus 20 decibels as you're talking, as an example. With something like that, it's got to be even lower, like minus 25 decibels, so it's not fighting with the voice.
Well, I assure you, I redid it.
Okay. Well, I guess the other question I have is at the end, remember we had talked about,
I changed that too, Kevin. Yeah.
yeah, but we talked,
Place you got the wrong link.
well, it's,
So I sent you the wrong.
okay, well, you know what I'll have to do is we'll have to look and see the other one. We had talked about at the end here, Larry's got his text right over the faces, and I'm like, hey, I want to see your face.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
And then he kind of fades out the music. I said, well, put all this text while you've got this nice panoramic shot, because then you've got this at the end where the music's already out and you've got some other text. So I thought, okay, kind of keep it all with that nice panoramic shot. Now, the other question I have, just out of curiosity, you're editing this in a 4:3 format.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that you did that?
Yeah, some of the images were that size.
Oh,
So I just cropped it all down,
okay.
put bars into,
Okay, well, I saw at the beginning, here, see this? See at the bottom? Watch as you play this,
yeah, the bar wasn't down far.
the bar isn't down far enough.
February 2025. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
I thought the text over Larry's face was great.
Well, like I said, at the end, you got this gorgeous panoramic shot, and it's like excellent. Have that music keep going, have your text in there, and
Perfect.
that would be the great way to end it. Yeah, sure.
I noticed a couple times, like, the cross dissolves were really great, and then suddenly there was some with just
Yeah,
nothing, and it felt really.
I don't understand why Stream Remnants does that.
Well, are you going to be coming to Sherry Lee's class on the 25th? You should be. See what trick she might have up her sleeve.
I have a question, Larry.
Go ahead.
On the hike itself, I did that last year, before it got too cold, and I was just amazed at, how do you think they got everything up there? It doesn't look like they could have created a road anywhere, but maybe a few spots look like they might have been lighting up for a Jeep.
Yeah,
I think it was a wide road all along and then because of lack of use, I think it's,
And it all came up from the valley, not the way you hike.
That's true. Okay.
All right.
I loved your danger signs. Flashing.
Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, thank you, Larry. I'll be interested to see, whatever I just had was 15 minutes long, so I'm not sure what else you've added into that. Maybe there's something later. I'll have to look and see.
I forgot to say,
At the end,
no, select,
yeah, it just did the whole
the
timeline.
part that I select.
Okay.
I could let that, pick that little box that happens, yeah.
Okay. Diane, you've got a video for us. We're gonna do two more, just to let everybody know. Diane's got one and Jim West has got one. Go ahead, Diane, tell us about this video.
This was at through the lake and I found a cormorant that had an injured wing. So I was able to get really close to him. And as I was putting this together, I just kind of felt like this was a tribute to that bird.
Okay. All right, let's check it out. Okay. What do we think of that? Yeah, go ahead.
Thought the way the images blended with the music was amazing, absolutely amazing how you were able to time that just.
Yeah, a lot of hours.
That's tough to do.
The nice thing where it looked like a still photograph that turned out was slow-mo, and I know literally kind of, it wasn't slow-mo. Huh? It wasn't slow-mo. Was that really being real slow? Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, that was great.
Did you like the pacing of it?
Oh,
Perfect. The pacing was absolutely flowed with the music.
God.
It just gave you that very serene feel. That was nice. The only thing I'd love to see you do, at the very end, you got your credit and the music is still going a little bit. So either extend your last shot or fade the music down. And then you're all set. If you just, here's what I'm talking about, folks.
Black screen.
Yeah, so either fade it down as your credit fades, or go ahead and extend that last scene a little bit to naturally let the music fade down. Other than that, nice.
Very good. Wow.
Okay, does anybody else have anything on that? All right, thank you, Diane. All right, yes. All right, last photo or last video of the day. Jim, you've got one for us. It's a quickie, I know.
Now, this is meant to promote Dominic, my great-grandson, in his racing hobby, and possibly promote a Photoshop tour of the Tucson Speedway.
Okay, let's check it out. What do we think of that?
You know, in the beginning, when you had the text, I think you need to, so it's
Yeah.
somewhat hanging off over here on the left and
Yep.
up against the edge over there. Maybe if you can't tighten it up or just reduce the size a couple points to make it fit into
Yeah.
the image.
Yeah, it's just your text is bleeding. It's right there at the edge, but on this side, you're bleeding off just a little bit.
Okay.
So maybe just knock it down a few points if you want to do that, or extend the image so that the image is, give us a little motion maybe or something, or just extend it full frame. So you've got all these nice stickers that are up here. Maybe that's at the top and then you've got this at the bottom and you just extend that out so it's full frame.
Music was really good for
Yes.
the presentation.
The other thing that I really liked, at the end, you had the list of all these kids' names. Are these all the kids?
2 are missing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it would have been neat to have this photo at the end and scroll those names of the kids, just doing it a second time. Cause to me, it's kind of nice. In a sense, it puts a face with the name,
Yeah.
even though there's a couple that are missing. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah, that would be good.
Is there anything else that you see him doing in this video?
Yeah, well, with the names, there was another frame at the end. Yeah, after that. I guess I was confused why is that at the end? I mean,
It's the
Thing coming up.
It's the upcoming event.
yeah, it's coming up, so, but why even have, or, you know,
Well, like you said, he's trying to promote the event coming up.
yeah, I guess I'd make that more explanatory. 2 Cent Speedway, be there for.
Yeah, something like that would be nice. Yeah, yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, Derek.
What would, if you backed that up, if you did this to hair and you got the cars going around the track right there,
Yep.
what if you had something like that going on, do a Gaussian blur while
Sure.
those names are scrolling through?
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of things you could do. I like the idea of something back there. And then I do like Ollie's idea of just next race, you know, May 10th or 17th, whatever it is, you know,
So, yeah, something, but.
something like that.
It was confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bandolera Bandits coming May 17th, 2025. I think that.
Yeah.
Race again.
Yeah, they'll race again on May 17th or something. I mean, yeah. And actually, like to Daryl's point too, maybe even this graphic with has the racing in the background that's
Yeah.
blurred a little bit.
Nice.
And then it just kind of gives the idea of the action of the cars are going around the track, and then here's your text saying next race, you know.
I don't know, see, I really like that backdrop that you have, and it makes it's so easy to read the stuff,
Mhm.
but you've got a nice motion going through it. I
Mhm.
don't know, I mean, I really like that. I'm concerned if you put the cars going back
Mhm.
behind that, even blurs, it's gonna distract from the.
Oh, possibly. I mean, you know, like anything, when you're doing something, we have ideas like this. Hey, try this. Well, you try it and you might go, it's too busy. I don't like it. Stay with the clean background.
Or you may like it.
Or you may like it. You never know. Like like Daryl said, if it's Gaussian, and then maybe if you also darken up the exposure of that a little bit. So if it's me, I would reduce the highlights down, which will kind of darken up the overall image. And then text it in there with Gaussian. Yeah, you never know.
What's Gaussian mean?
It's a type of a blur. You're in, which program are you editing in?
iMovie.
Okay, there's in iMovie, there is a Gaussian blur
Filters.
in the filter section. Yeah. You know what I'll do is I'll send you I'll cut that out and just send a quick clip and show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Does anybody have anything else? We still have other videos we're not going to get to today, but we will show them next week, and maybe we'll actually be caught up. It would be nice. But please stay out there shooting. We've got our snowbirds are leaving at most in another 6 weeks. So we appreciate your coming today. We will be back next week on the 24th. So everybody come on out. Have a great St. Patty's Day. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.